This is the Fatherhood podcast with Jay Dewey, myself, and then so Santi isn't going to be here. He's probably going to be gone for a little bit, a little while. So I thought I'd try and get something together. So I have my friend here from high school, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
Is go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Nick Plush. I am also a father.
Yeah.
It's the best job I ever had.
Yeah, for real, deadass. It was kind of hard because I was thinking of like, man, who could be like a good like substitute for him? I was like, man, either like everyone's like not a father, or like either they are a father but they just don't got fucking time on their hands. I was like, man. So I just went ahead. I was like, you know what? You want to? Which is
I was down. It was definitely something that I thought was a cool thing you were doing.
Yeah.
I think it definitely helps a lot of maybe young fathers or anything that might see this. That if
it's not all bad.
Yeah, it's not exactly the curse people say it is.
Yeah, man. So I guess like on a few past podcasts we touched about like me and Santi on topics of like what it's like being, a father for the first time, to like what was your best moments, to sort of the funny moments. So what I want to kind of ask you as like you and yourself is like what was like your first like, oh shit, I'm gonna be a dad type of thing?
That's actually kind of more of a little bit of a difficult question, I think, because when you first find out that your baby mom is pregnant, and that's saying for the ones that aren't married or anything. Me, for example, I'm married to my wife, so my wife, when we first found out she was pregnant with my first, it was kind of like that initial shock, like, oh shit, I'm gonna be a dad, like the just kind of the shock of the pure thing. But as far as probably after the fact, probably something about when you first get to hold that baby for the first time. I mean, you can feel it kick, you can do everything you can while the baby's still inside mom, but once you first hold that child that that's yours, I think that's when it really kicked in for me that I am a father. That's it.
Yeah. I get that. Like, okay, so like you found out with your woman was like, hey, I'm pregnant, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, so we had been trying for a while.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't like
it's
unplanned.
not like, it wasn't a completely unplanned thing. We were trying, and I mean, we were probably trying for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it, nothing really happened. So, I mean, we were just like, okay, well, it's not our time, so we'll just keep doing our thing. And when it happens, it happens. You know? I mean, but there's still that shock factor when you first find out. Mm-hmm. And then I'd say probably the second shock is when you first go in for the first ultrasound.
Yeah.
And you first hear the heartbeat. Because to me, that's what really made it like, okay, this isn't like something I can brush off.
Yeah.
Not that it was like something I was considering anyway, but
like pushed aside.
Pushed her down the stairs real quick. Nothing like that. No, I mean, I'd say that's probably about what my first shock as like I'm a dad is when I first held my first one. And I mean, it's just the same thing for the second girl that I had.
Yeah. I want to back up a bit. What'd you say about like down the stairs?
Like I wasn't gonna try to get out of it.
Okay. Like, I was like, I was like,
no, I was like, no, like don't do that. Not that I was gonna or nothing like that. It's like when you first find out, it's like, a lot of guys can be like, I'm a dart. I never touched her.
Yeah. It's oh man, I want to like say like maybe there's like three times that I was in shock. And like this is how I found out. It wasn't like one morning we woke up and she's like, hey, I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
This is like, because, you got to remember when I first became a dad, it was like maybe a year or two after high school. And so by that time, I was still living with my parents. And so this is like how I found out. She didn't tell anyone but her grandma and her mom. And so her grandma told my mom. And on like a Saturday where I didn't have anything planned. I thought it was just me, myself, and I literally woke up with my mom like hitting me, being like, "Yo, get the fuck up! Tell me what's going on." I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And she's like, "Is so and so pregnant?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So yeah,
You're just like, oh man, just waking up to
yeah,
it too. Oh, dude, because you're just like, am I still like in a fever dream or something?
dead
Or,
ass
like, what's
for
going
real.
on? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I did a little digging. I was like, what's going on? Are you kidding, or like what's? So that's when she told me, and then when she told me that's when I was in shock, because everything that my mom was saying was like going one ear and out the other. I was like, no, you're tripping. You're just worried for nothing. It's nothing. But the second time was probably like you said, the ultrasound, and she just like barely put it on her. And I seen, the first,
First picture of her.
I was like, oh fuck. And then like the third time was when she was actually born.
Yeah.
It's like those 3 times, chills like up my back, with all of my daughters, just chills up my back every time. Cause I have 3, but it's just, God, man, being a father, it's like, so I guess with that being said, did you have to transition a lot to what you, from being just you and your girlfriend to like, okay, you and your girlfriend and, another, like essentially.
Well, yeah, and I think every couple probably goes through that.
Mm-hmm.
That whole transition from like, it was just me and her, and now it's me, her, and now we have this crying thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't just decide to go out, and just be like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to take care of the baby and everything. So I think, I mean, that process, I mean, it can really be difficult or it can be really easy. I think it just kind of depends on the couple itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of stuff gets messed up, honestly, as far as like, divorced parents and stuff, because they weren't compatible at all, but then they had a baby and tried to make it work, try to force a bad thing, and then, like a seized bolt, you sit there and try and force it, you're just going to snap the head off. And then it's just fucked.
For real. Man. So I guess another question on top of that was like, I guess your proudest moment as a father with all of your kids. Not a certain one. I guess just not your very first one, but the one that you fondly remember.
The proudest.
I like your most fondest memory.
See, I feel like that's a little bit more of a difficult question with younger kids.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's just like, I know that there's stuff that's going to be coming up, and I mean, with how young they are now, but I'd say probably when we first brought my second born home from the hospital, because my mom was taking care of my oldest while we were in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
When we first brought the youngest home, and, my mom brought the oldest over, and, we put her in their lap, and, I mean, I could just see the pure look of love in my oldest's eyes looking down at her baby sister, and I think that was just like, that's probably my top tier right now as far as like fondest, proudest moment as a father.
Just like what you have set right now, because of course there's going to be a lot of more memories down the road and everything. Yeah.
I'm sure that like my older brother, when I first got home, he probably just wanted to throw me in a river.
Really? Was he like,
Oh, dude,
like
we
what the
fought.
fuck? You like,
We
what the
fought
fuck are
all
you
the
doing?
time. You know, we fought all the time, and now we're like, we're like, you're okay.
Oh,
You're,
yeah?
you're not a bad guy.
Oh, okay.
We hang out, we talk and stuff. And,
Yeah.
But no, being kids, I mean, we had fought each other a lot, so I was just like, yes, she doesn't hate her. And,
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. So, I know it might seem like we talked a lot, but like I guess the only time that I saw you was like since high school was probably like 2 times. One of them was when you were working where you were working, and I seen you just once. And then the other time was like recently at Walmart,
Yeah.
right? But like I guess what I'm like trying to ask is like what was your stance on me in high school? Like, cause like now that I'm a father, I do this, I do DoorDash, I do just different stuff from like high school perspective.
Yeah.
What was it?
well, I mean, you were a bro. I mean, I hung out with you and Dane, Joseph, and Santi. And,
Yeah.
I hung out with all you guys for, I mean, pretty much most of, like when I moved into Riverton in 8th grade. I hung out with you guys and stuff. And
Wait, you moved here in 8th grade? Where were you?
I lived out in Pavilion and I went to school out
Oh, okay, all
there,
right.
there at Wind River.
I thought, okay, that's okay, cause I only came to like Riverton in 8th grade too.
Yeah.
So I thought you were already mixed in with a lot of people.
Oh, no. I moved there in 8th grade and, yeah, no, I mean, I made friends with you guys and I was just like, yeah, I mean, they're cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay. Yeah.
I wasn't really too keen on trying to make a whole bunch of new friends anyway, just because, I mean, I had a bunch of them that I still had just 30 minutes away. I could just go see them if I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, hanging out with you guys and stuff, no, I mean, as far as in high school, I mean, you were a bro. I was like,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought,
respect,
from my perspective was like this dude, and like, of course we have other people who'd like come in out of nowhere, like James Stransky,
Oh, yeah.
and like I'd say Kobe Amos, that'll come up to our group and be like, hey, what's up? And then we start talking or like giving them shit.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that you had your own group, it seemed like, because of course I didn't pay attention to what friend groups they were, but I know that you'd come into our group here and there, and then we'd fucking like chop shit.
That's pretty much true. I mean, I hung out with you guys and I hung out with like all the smokers and stuff, out there by our cars in the parking lot smoking cigarettes and down by the fence and stuff. And,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I guess, because I don't, particularly like go down and smoke or like,
Yeah.
I remember.
It was all us shady white kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a few, others here and there.
Yeah.
All the smokers went down there, but the ones that I hung out with were like the shady white kids. They're like, we'll throw a rock at your house and run away.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I was door dashing the other day.
Yeah.
And I went to Wendy's for a pickup, and I saw your wife.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey," it kind of made me laugh. It's like she's like, "Is Nick still coming over to do your podcast?" So I was like, "Yeah, as far as I know." And she was like, "Okay, yeah, that's fine." She's she said it like
like she was giving me approval.
like she was giving you approval. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
that's awesome. I'm whipped.
That's funny. I thought that was funny, but she also said like, watch out, he's a little bit wild.
He's a little bit wild.
I was like, oh fuck.
I think she's just meaning that. I mean, when I know that it's something that's going to be seen or whatever, I try to keep stuff a little bit toned down. But like, if it was just like you and me talking, without a camera,
Yeah.
I might say some,
Yeah, okay.
I might say some off the wall stuff.
Yeah.
But typically I'll try to keep stuff a little in check.
Yeah. Okay.
But
okay.
like, I mean, like just said, pushing down the stairs. You know?
Yeah, it slips through here and
Yeah,
there.
some will slip through the cracks, but I try to keep it close.
Yeah, nice, man. James, how long are we? 15 minutes. Okay, still got maybe 5 minutes left. So, I guess another question would probably be like, because we did talk about it like off camera, but like, how would you feel if you were to have another one, or if?
I mean, I guess if it happened, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna freak out and be like, no, absolutely not. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I did have another, obviously I'm gonna love them just the same as I love my other two. I'm not gonna shame them. Tell them that you're the ugly one. You stay in the closet. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be the same way around as with my other two girls. I would say if we did have another one, I hope to God it's a boy.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, well, yeah, dude, I got two girls. I live in a house with my wife. The two girls. We have a couple cats that are females. So the only male is me, and I have two dogs. A husky that yells at me more than my wife does.
Wow.
And my other dog Shane, I mean, he's cool. He's my homie.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's just if I did have another one, I'd hope it was a boy.
Yeah.
But whatever. But no, we're taking every precaution to not. And then here soon we're gonna do what we need to do. I'll go get the snip. I don't care. I don't want another one.
Yeah.
If it happens,
it happens. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like. So with mine, was your second one planned?
Not really.
Not really.
Like, so my second one, it was more of a.
Like, oops.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing I can say. Me and my wife were playing with the oldest, and she was just being real giggly and stuff, being, a happy little child. And, I mean, gave my wife baby fever all of a sudden. And, next thing you know, it was like a week later, here you go. And it was just like, shit.
It was like.
We were trying to put a little bit more time than 2 years. Yeah, they're about 2 years.
They're 2 years apart, man. I tell you this, all my girls were unplanned. All of them unplanned, and they're all a year apart. My oldest is 5. My oldest is 6. My middle child is 5, and my youngest is 4. Year after year after year, and
That's nuts.
It is.
I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't.
It's hard for me to have the two so close together because they fight so well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just they fight and fight and fight. To have them that close together, man, that'd be worse, I'd imagine.
It was definitely like one of those things where it's like, man, this isn't like traditional, and I don't think I would ever plan a traditional one. Mm-hmm. If they come, but like I wouldn't have it any other way,
Oh yeah.
Just like everything from like the feeling of like, oh, she's pregnant, to oh, she's pregnant again, to like, oh shit, a third one. Like all those feelings were genuine, and I'd probably like, if I were to like go back in time, I'd have those feelings again, just because I know that they're a part of me. Everything that I've been doing, everything I've done for them, it's them, it's
oh yeah,
just them,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I never, like, to think of it, I never actually like ever sat down with, well, yeah, of course my girlfriend now, we talk about it here and there. Like, I know I have my girls, and she knows that she has her boy. Like, what if
she wants one with you?
Yeah, what if like we had one? Of course, those conversations come up, and we stick to it of like, okay, yeah, maybe, but I think
if you do,
yeah,
hats off to you.
Yeah,
I don't think I could.
I tell you, it's a different feeling when you're dealing with a boy, though, because what I've known to do is just wake up in the morning, get my girls ready, fix their hair, send them off to school, then get home. They're painting their nails, they're you know taking care of their baby dolls. But with a boy, it's like it's totally different because he's all over the place. He wants to play basketball. He wants to be like
rowdy,
yeah,
roughhouse.
yeah,
Wants
it
to
is,
fuck with you.
yeah. But I didn't know how to fully transition to like from being a girl dad to a boy dad. Yeah, so I kind of had to look at my dad and be like, hey, you know, I know you had all these girls and then you had me. How did you kind of transition? How did you do it? He's like, I just watched you. Like with girls, you more have to be there, and they're gonna be girl dads. Well, my sisters were and my girls are, but he's like, I just did what you did. If you wanted to come hang out, I let you hang out. If you wanted me to do something, I do something. And then it's just that relationship from, because I didn't have to. He was like, I didn't have to fix your hair. I didn't have to fucking make you clean. If you want to go get dirty, you can go get dirty.
Yeah.
But like, I would like my sense of like being troubled of like, oh man, he's getting dirty. What the fuck is he doing? Because I was so used to my girls not playing in the mud, not doing the stuff that regular boys do. But I kind of had to take a step back, and you still those feelings of like, okay, he's doing too much. Of course I'm still kind of like working on that, but man, we'd have like a good relationship to me and my stepson, just because like when my dad would go get wood, do yard work, he'd bring me along.
Oh, yeah.
And for as old as I am, anytime that he calls and like, hey, I need help this weekend, or hey, can you come out and do this, I'm like right out there. And so one of these times, he called and said, hey, I'm gonna work on a yard, you want to come out? I said, yeah. And I figured, you know what, let me take my stepson. So we went out there. He did what he could, but he still got to play around, and I kind of started to build that relationship with him like how my dad did.
Oh yeah.
And so anytime, well, like sometimes when my dad would need something, or I want to go fix something for them, there's more of a likely chance I'm going to take my stepson more than my girls, just to kind of build on that relationship and kind of give what my dad gave me to him, as far as like him being a boy and my stepson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So God, being a girl dad, they love me now, but I don't think I'll ever be ready for them to be like, Dad, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, no, I don't know how I'd really handle that transition if I did have a boy. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'd like to say I'd probably handle it well. Oh no, I throw my girls around.
Oh yeah.
I'll suplex them onto the couch and shit. I'll throw them around. And they try throwing each other around. They'll be doing their thing. If I have them in a safe spot, where I know they're not really gonna get hurt, I'll trip them and just mess with them and stuff.
Okay, what time? Okay. I'll probably fix that later, but probably for the rest we can just wrap it up here, and then
that's fine.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the Fatherhood Podcast with me, Jay Dewey, and
Nick Plush.
So thank you for listening or watching on YouTube. So that'll be it.